From the Thousand Islands Watershed Land Trust, I'm talking with two individuals here in the studio about a plant sale. One of them happens to be the wildlife biologist, and that is Maggie. Nice to have you here, Maggie.
Thank you for having me.
And we have a professor with us. He's a retired professor. We have Brian Henderson with us, who is going to be telling us a lot about tomatoes. We've been talking quite a bit off camera about tomatoes, haven't we?
We have.
So please tell our viewers, what is the Thousand Islands Watershed Land Trust?
Yes, so we're your community land trust. So we're a local nonprofit organization. We specialize in conservation of land and conservation of nature and protecting nature and wildlife, and also a little bit about education as well. And so we have around 19 or so properties in the area that we protect and steward. And one of our big properties is the Glen Elb property, which the plant sale will be at.
And that's located in Athens, is it not?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when is this plant sale taking place?
May the 27th, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Alrighty, so what are you selling as plants? Like what are we going to be seeing if we come out to this plant sale?
Well, there's quite a diversity.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of native trees and native shrubs. The native ones, quite a few of them are from the Carolinian zone, which is north shore of Lake Erie, Niagara Peninsula.
Yes.
But because of climate change, the species is able to survive and advance up here. And so things like tulip trees, Kentucky coffee tree, sassafras. We have an arboretum at Glen Elb,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is doing quite well. It's just the third year, I think.
Yes.
The third year, and the species is doing well. And so you see a lot of other native trees like bur oak, black cherry. What else we have there? I can't remember the whole list.
Sycamore.
There's about 30
Roughly
different
about
kinds.
25 to 30.
Yeah.
So when people come out and they buy the plants, are they given some sort of instructions or directions or whatever they should do with this particular tree or plant?
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
we'll
good.
we'll have a little page of how to plant your tree or
Yes.
shrub,
Uh-huh.
and we also do have some instructional videos on our social media and our website to refer people to as well.
That's good because
And also the day of the plant sale, there'll be a lot of gardeners there that are volunteers, member of the Thousand Islands Land Trust, and also a lot of biologists that helped as of yesterday, helping replant
Good.
some of the butternuts in the woods.
butternut trees. I used to pick up the butternuts, and I could remember that. Yeah, in order to get the nut out, you have to take a hammer to it. Or at least we did. But oh yeah, that was butternut trees. Just love them. Just love them. So they can ask questions while they're
Oh,
there
yes.
as
Oh,
to
yes.
how,
Yeah.
what do I do with this, like where do I plant it? Is it going to do good in this particular spot on my lawn that has, whatever. And so
Yes.
yeah, they're better to ask questions than
Oh, sure.
just to
Yeah,
walk
that's
off with
right.
it and think they're going to be able to look after it. So we're talking about wildflowers too, right?
Yes, we will have quite a selection of wildflowers as well. So things like cardinal flower and wild columbine and butterfly milkweed. A lot of really, really nice plants that are great for pollinators. So yeah, there will have a large selection of those as well.
So the cost for the plants, they're going to vary, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, there's different types of plants and
Yeah.
whatnot. So what's the low end and what is the high end?
Low end, probably around $5 to $6 for wildflowers, and then high end, we have a lot of trees that are quite tall, so sort of around 4 feet or so.
Yes.
Which will probably be around $50 to $60,
Which is
as well.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Shrubs. You also have shrubs that you're selling as well.
Yes.
Yep, a few shrubs. So things like flowering dogwood, which is like a large shrub or small tree, which is really, really pretty showy white flowers on them. And we'll have, I believe, witch hazel as well. So a good selection of shrubs as well.
Do you find that people in the area are not aware of the heritage type of plants and shrubbery and trees, or do they really know their trees and shrubs and flowers?
Well, that's a good question. It depends.
I suppose it would.
I think no. There's quite a few people that are quite keen about the heritage tomatoes, and,
Okay.
and where can they get them? And
Yes.
because they're not commonly available in the garden centers. Maybe one or two varieties, but we have 30 varieties, and that we're selling. There's so a lot of gardeners which are really in tune with gardening and heirloom plants. They'll be listening to this and be quite quite interested.
Right.
So if you're
So this is really a good introduction for a person like me that doesn't
Yeah.
have a clue what a heritage plant, tree, whatever is.
yeah.
It would be a good education for me to go out there
Oh,
and,
yes.
and
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
have
Well,
a
one
look
thing
and
about
learn.
this site at Glen Elb, the house is being restored. It's an 1838 house, and it's being restored to be kept much of the antique features of inside the house, but with modern facilities.
Right.
But because it's 1838, we have established and continue to reestablish and resurrect a Victorian flower garden. So all these species and varieties in there are, we try to get them from the 1830, 1840 period. And also at the same time, we have established a mid-19th century vegetable garden with all heirloom plants, heirloom vegetable plants.
Yes. Yes.
So that'll be all something else to see come particularly late May and June when the gardens start to be planted up.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that is so exciting. I like
And
that.
if you're interested in history,
Yes.
it's quite a historic site, not just the restoration of the house and the barns, but it used to be a mill site. There's a beautiful waterfalls down about a 15-minute walk down a path. Used to be a mill site with the distilleries, lumber mills, flour mills, cheese factory.
Cheese factory too.
And you can see the remnants of some of the walls of the mills adjacent to the waterfalls.
Wow. That sounds
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a-
really nice piece of land.
It
doesn't
really
it?
is, yeah. It's about 111 acres and showcases the different historical features as well as some of the biology as well. And yeah, there's a beautiful trail that goes to the waterfalls and showcases these historical features and through some wetland and forest communities. So we're definitely encouraging everyone who comes out to the sale to explore the property a little bit, learn about what the land trust does, and yeah, see some of the history and some of the important features of the property.
Yeah.
One thing about the tomato plant sale, you
Yes.
can buy one at a time, so you can mix and match. They're all individually potted.
Yes.
So there's 30 varieties, so you can mix and match what you might want for your garden.
And go home and then forget what they were.
Oh no, they're
And
all
then-
labeled.
Oh.
They're all labeled.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there again, the tomatoes. I'm amazed at the variety that you were telling me off camera. I just can't get over how many there is.
Well, we have everything from the very large two pounders down to the cherry
little
tomatoes,
ones.
plum tomatoes, Italian heirloom. Some of the names are quite strange to most people. A Missouri love apple, mortgage lifter. Mortgage lifter. It was 1935. A man in the States grew his own selection of tomatoes, sold them on his driveway for $1 a piece, and he paid off his $6,000 mortgage. So,
Oh, wow.
so there's all sorts of strange names and different levels of acid. Some tomatoes are quite strong, the typical strong acid. Others are mild. And so we have a selection of yellow tomatoes, orange, red, and all different sizes.
So somebody will be there to guide the individual that is looking
there's,
for
there's
whatever,
pictures, photographs of each variety, so you know what you're getting.
Yes. Good.
We're very lucky to have Brian as well as all of our other volunteers as well. So we'll probably have probably around 10 or so volunteers helping out to ask questions and things. So yeah, it'll be a lot of work that's
Yeah.
gone into it, and it'll be a great event, I think.
Great.
Well,
So
there's a great team of volunteers. enthusiastic, dedicated people, courteous, love nature, love history, love gardening, ornithologist. There's a bird watchers, biologists. So it's anybody wants to get involved. Glen Elby has a volunteer basis. Glad to receive more people because it's such a diversified site that's something for everybody. You like nature, like history, or like conservation, gardening.
It's a place to be.
It's there.
Yes. So there again, the date is
May 27th, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
in Athens.
And at Glen Elb, not directly in Athens. What's the address
Okay.
The
there?
address is
Yes.
870 County Road 42, Athens.
County Road 42.
Yes.
Okay, but it's in that area of
It
Athens.
is.
All right.
Thank
Thank you for coming in and sitting down with me and educating me on tomatoes and everything else that
Yes.
people have out there. I think
Yes,
it's awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.